Welcome to the Just Law Solicitors YouTube channel. My name is John Towell and I'm the Director of Legal at Just Law Solicitors. The website is www.justlawsolicitors.com. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about how you can become resident in Spain after you've arrived in Spain as a tourist. Now, just to go back a step, the normal route is if you're from, say, a non-EU country like the United Kingdom, Canada, America, Australia, etc. You would apply for the non-lucrative visa in your home country, which is what people usually use. Then they would come here and you can live in Spain for as long as you're allowed under the non-lucrative visa. Now, some people come to Spain as a tourist, and if you're from, so for example, United Kingdom, you can only stay for 90 days. So what happens if you come as a tourist and you then want to remain in Spain as a resident? Well, there's various ways that this can be done. The first one is the community card, the tarjeta comunitaria, right? Excuse my Spanish. So basically, if your partner's an EU citizen or they legally resident in Spain, you can become resident in Spain by being married or being in a formal common law relationship. So that's one of the ways of doing it. The next one is a student visa. Now, again, you come to Spain as a tourist and you think, oh, okay, I'll study in Spain. Now, you can of course do that in your home country, but you can do it when you're here. Now, you must make the application before the end of the second month of your stay as a tourist. And once you've confirmed your enrolment in an official study centre, an official college, university, you apply for the student visa, and you must show that you have sufficient financial means to stay in the country for the duration of your studies and have private medical insurance, which you would need for the non-lucrative visa in any event. Now, to add to that, there is a draft law that may come into force. Just Law Solicitors, we don't usually comment on laws that are not in force, but the draft law, which we expect to be approved imminently, I'm making this video in July, so we're expecting it very, very soon, is that you can now, assuming the law's passed, be able to work 30 hours a week, but it can't be your primary source of income and it can't interfere with your studies. Now, the next one is it's called the investment visa, but people call it the golden visa. Now, if you go and look at our blog, www.justlawsolicitors.com/blog, we wrote an article about the golden visa. But one of the ways of remaining here as a resident after you've arrived as a tourist is the golden visa. So, for example, if you bought property or properties, commercial or private, for 500,000 euros and over, you can apply for the golden visa whilst you're here as a tourist, and then you and your family have the right to live and work in Spain. But I won't go into that too much because we've written about that if you have a look on the blog. Now, the next one is a highly qualified professional. Now, basically, managers, directors who are highly qualified professionals who receive a job offer of a minimum of 50,000 a year and have university studies, it's a degree requirement, they can apply for a visa to do that job after they've arrived here as a tourist. Now, the next one is the entrepreneur visa, the self-employment visa. You might have heard people talk about autonomo. Now, again, if you look at our blog, www.justlawsolicitors.com/blog, we wrote about that there. Now, if you are planning on setting up a business in Spain, you create a project and you make an application, and it's decided by the Spanish government if you can have the self-employment autonomo visa. Now, before anyone asks, there's no fixed requirement on how much you have to invest. There's no fixed requirement on how many employees you have to have. Every project or proposal is done on its own merits. Now, just to confuse people, the draft immigration law, which we're hoping is going to come into force very soon, but it hasn't at the time of making this video, has removed the obligation to prove you have the money to support your project. So before, you would need to prove you have the money. If you're opening, I don't know, a bar or a restaurant or something, now you don't need to prove you have the money. Only if this law comes into force. And again, we'll keep you informed in the blog or on our Facebook page or our group, Move to Spain. Now, the next one, and the final one, is called routing, or arriago, again, excuse my Spanish. So this is a bit different to the other ones, because the other ones I'm talking about people who have arrived legally as a tourist, they're within the 90 days, all is well. This one is an exception. If you've lived illegally, irregularly as it's put nicely in the Spanish law, in Spain for a minimum period of time, you can then apply for residency. So you're here for all intents and purposes illegally, under the threat of being deported. You can then apply for residency under that scheme, routing, arriago. The new draft immigration law is going to make it a bit easier, but again, it's not the law yet. And again, we'll keep you informed. Now, one of the things you have to remember is this isn't legal advice. We've been here on the coast in Marbella, Fuengirola, Malaga for over 30 years. And if you've got a legal query, anything from a visa to buying a property, send us an email at contact@justlawsolicitors.com. The key thing, no matter what you're doing, is don't sign or pay anything until you've spoken to us. We can advise you in person or online. You can buy a property from your home country even without being here. Again, this isn't legal advice. Always take legal advice from us. So I hope that's clear and straightforward, and if this draft law comes out, then we'll redo the video and we'll get rid of this video, and hopefully it'll be a lot clearer. Thanks for watching.